At a young age, when I would lay down and sleep at night, um, there were certain things I would see. So I would see, like, if I would look into like the corner in the room, like in the shadows of the darkness, there's these red dots that would form. And if I would stare long enough in the darkness, I start seeing geometric patterns and shapes.
It's almost like impossible to be yourself because everyone's trying to fit you in a fucking box.
And it felt like everyone was trying to put me in some sort of box that, like, well, you got to be in the Christian box, or, well, you got to be in the black box, and you got to be in this box. It was my second year in China, so I just moved to Guangzhou, and I was having issues with the bank, the Chinese bank over there. So I had a bunch of money I made for a year. I have no access to it. So for 2 weeks, I have no money, basically. Starving my ass off. I'm eating butter.
Hey, not like some good old butter, man.
Man, I know.
Ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it.
What is up, everybody? This is Joe Adams, and welcome to the Relentless Pursuit podcast. What we do on this podcast is bring guests from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life to share their journey and everything along the way that led them to where they're at today. Unfiltered stories, raw emotion, and the kind of human connection that can't be faked. We're here to make an impact, and that is what we do. So if that is for you, like, subscribe, all those wonderful things. And if that is not for you, I don't know what your problem is, but it's time to jump on board today. Thank you. But without further ado, I would love to introduce today's guest, Mr. Ricky Daniels.
Good afternoon, everybody.
It's good to have you here, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm
Yeah.
doing good. Absolutely.
Well, guys, so for those of you that don't know Ricky, I'm not going to assume that everybody that listens to this knows Ricky. I met Ricky at Takes Two Fitness. He is a trainer there, as well as am I. I butchered that. But we both train out of there, and we started talking one day, and I was like, I feel like this man's got a story, because everyone has a story. And we talked about getting you on here for a little bit, and here you are, my man.
And now we're here.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
So, well, welcome. It's so good to have you. Real quick, share with the audience what life looks like for you today, and then we'll take it back.
So today, I'm in the process of trying to become the perfect husband and father. So while being on my spiritual journey, so in doing so, that's stuff like my main goal right now is trying to get into the fire department, trying to be a fireman right now. Been working out, training, trying to stay in shape to be a fireman, and then trying to move out in the wilderness, get me some chickens, get me some goats, start a family. Just trying to be a family man at this point.
Yeah, hell yeah. Do you have you're married?
I'm married.
Do you have any kids yet?
No kids.
You're working your way there though.
That's really it's kind of interesting because I start thinking more long term. When you're younger, you think differently, but as you get older, you start thinking a little bit more long term.
Yeah.
And then of course your values and what you believe starts to change.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we'll probably get into this a little bit later, but
Yeah.
I would have a plan and then chaos would happen. And
Yeah.
then you have to start all over again. So I was supposed to have started a family in 2020. That was supposed to be the year.
How old are you now?
I'm 36.
36? Oh, we're about the same age. Yeah. Right behind you. Hey man, it'll happen when it's supposed to.
Yeah.
That's for sure, man. And as we know, man, the plans, life doesn't go by that.
Yeah.
You can have all the plans, and I can reflect on just shoot a handful of years ago as to today, man. And holy shit, the journey would not be what I expected it to be, but I'm grateful for every bit of it.
No stuff.
So, well, and to your point on having the land and the chickens, dude, that's what we're working towards. That's a huge goal for me. I want
the state to do it.
I don't care if I have to commute an hour and a half to Brentwood. I want to live on some acreage with my family. We want homeschooling going on, chickens, garden, all that shit. That is the main goal for me. So I feel you there, bro.
Yep.
That's huge. That's important.
You got to have a gun range on your property.
Exactly
You
right.
have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to have all that good stuff.
You got to have all that good stuff. And then a jiu-jitsu mat and
oh yeah.
It's not Tennessee unless you.
Yeah. Exactly. Now let's take it back. Take it back to the young days of Ricky. Where are you from? you know, take it to your early beginnings, talk about family, some influences there that kind of bled into where you're at today, and so on. And we'll just guide it from there.
All right. So I would say that in some ways my upbringing was like a lot of kids, but then in some ways very much not so. Um, so similar to a lot of people, your parents, you know, they had you kind of young. You know what I mean? So I think I'm say like my mom was like 19 and my dad was like 22 or something, or 21 or something like that. So they had me young, right? And my dad is a very ambitious guy. Very, very, very ambitious. And I think my father's ambition in many ways kind of like really inspired me, made me really understand the amount of hard work it takes to pursue something that you really want to do, which um, it's kind of a blessing and a curse as I gotten older. Like, is that when I decide to do something, I kind of go all in on that one thing because I saw that he went all in on something and he became a multi-millionaire, became very, very successful. So
what did he do, if you don't mind?
he's a musician.
Okay.
He plays in a rock band, right?
What's it? You're allowed to tell me the band.
It's kind of wild because I've always kept it secret. Like, you know what I mean?
You can tell me and I'll just like, I'll edit this part to make it go mute and then nobody gets it. And then it's forever going to be a mystery. You don't have to share it either.
He plays in a Christian rock band and they got real famous.
Like heavy rock or like how, I don't.
Rock rap is like during the time when, you can edit it out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, dude, that's what I was thinking, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shoot. All right. So
I'm not, we'll decide later. But anyway.
Okay.
So,
dude, I'm not gonna lie. When I was a kid, I got into like I was into new metal and like, you know, Slipknot and, you know, not Cradle of Filth yet. But like Coal Chamber and all that stuff. But I also listened to, he was a big influence in my childhood. So that's pretty nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Was he the vocalist?
Nah, bass player.
Bass player? Okay, sweet, dude.
So he's bass player. But it was interesting because my dad was also a very, very disciplined guy because he came from the military.
Oh, okay.
So he's, because my family is a lot of military. So we have a lot of Air Force. I think like my dad's side of family, there's Air Force. And then my mom's side is Army.
Sweet.
And so my dad, he was a Air Force engineer. So he, like, my dad's freaking smart. Like, it's insane. Like, he's a math guy. And he's one of those dudes, you give him an instrument, he's going to figure the instrument out. You give him, and he's like known for like, he's one of those kids, I feel like as a parent would be a nightmare because like there's stories where like my grandparents would come home and like the refrigerator's been taken apart. And it's like, why'd you take the refrigerator apart? Well, I just wanted to see how it worked. Or like he'd take some microwave apart or something crazy. So he's a artist, a musician, but also very engineer minded. And I think I've kind of inherited that kind of like.
Yeah, and those things go together.
Yeah.
You know?
So he was in the United States Air Force working as an engineer, but at the same time was he started out in a funk band and then he's like a hardcore Christian at the same time.
Yeah.
Then got picked up as a bass player for years later in like I want to think early 90s. And so then he's going on tour and then working at an engineering company. And then there was also a contract he was supposed to get in the Middle East to work for the Air Force over there. So he had to decide, like, do I continue my pursuit in music or do I go back to the Air Force or do I stay with this engineering company? So he didn't really know what to do. And he has a kid.
Yeah.
Right. So what is the most logical decision?
I mean,
he didn't make that decision.
Yeah,
he did.
Most people would probably say not music.
Not music.
But that's what he went for.
That's what he went for. Because he always said that there was a calling, like he prayed on it.
Yeah.
He's a devout Christian. He prayed on it. And he was going to these Christian concerts and he was seeing the influence that his band was having. and it's growing in popularity. It's growing and growing and growing and growing. And of course, that caused strain in my home life because my mom's not happy about it. My parents, my family didn't really support what he was doing. You know what I mean?
But it was a higher purpose thing.
It was a higher purpose thing. So he kept pursuing music, and then went on tour to stay stubborn about it. And, you know, and I mean, I was always admire the fact that he had that work ethic, and he was always like grinding at it and doing what he had to do. And he was very good and very talented. But the the trade-off from it, and I think this is something that as men we sometimes struggle with, it's that we're so willing to go all in to provide for our family, which is good, but it's not always the financial stuff that you need to provide. Sometimes being home and being present is more important
Oh, dude.
than going and like, and look, and I'm not knocking him for doing that, because our life was rags to riches. I went from being like a poor kid to like living in like a really rich, nice neighborhood and then having a lot of money. So I would rather have like, like we're not in the hood, we're not in the ghetto, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like there's blessings in that sense. So
Yeah.
so I'm not like, oh, he failed as a dad because he wasn't there. He was touring, you know what I mean? But the touring that he was doing was providing me like security at home in the sense. And when he was home, like he was a good dad. Like I'm not knocking that. Like he was disciplined, but he worked really, really hard. But the problem was that there was so much strain in the relationship between my dad and my mom.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And so then my upbringing kind of got kind of rough.
Yeah.
Dad's not home. Mom's not happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and those things affect the kids.
Affect the kids
so much.
And then it's so this is where like I think really the beginning of my spiritual journey began, was that, and this, okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to say this without sounding like a crazy person.
Dude, you sound like a crazy person.
Now let's go.
This is the place to do it.
Let's do it. So at a young age, when I would lay down and sleep at night, there were certain things I would see. So I would see, like, if I would look into like the corner in the room, like in the shadow of the darkness, there's these red dots that would form. And if I would stare long enough in the darkness, I start seeing geometric patterns and shapes, right? I would see a lot of that when I was a kid, right?
Interesting.
Which is fast forward into the future, like into being an adult, like it's very similar to what I have seen when I was on psychedelics. When I've taken psychedelics, I would see those same dots that would form right before you, like, when the trip starts, I would start to see those dots and then those shapes, those geometric patterns, right?
Like when like, oh, this is hidden.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would see that a lot as a kid. I'm just thinking, well, it's just my brain playing tricks. I mean, everybody does that. It's, and I always see it at night. And this is where things started to get interesting, was my, without going into too much detail, but there was issues on my mom's side of the family with like my aunt and my cousins. So they are living in like Long Beach, right? Like the hood,
Yeah.
Yeah. They're living in the hood. And so my dad being the Christian man he is, and my mom being the Christian woman that she is, right? Regardless, they're struggling in their faith, but whatever. They've realized the smart thing to do is to get my cousin and my aunt out of their home situation and move them over to where we're at in San Diego, right? So like my aunt's like 5 years older than me. My cousin is about, think she was about 4 or 5. I mean, they're old enough to, would you be considered like your big sisters, right?
Yeah.
When they showed up, right, then I start seeing strange things. So at night, I start seeing what there's these dark creatures that are they're so black that you can't see the details of them. They look two-dimensional, like flat, right? they would move really quick. They would zip in and out of around corners, right? And I was started noticing that a lot. Looking back, and I remember once they showed up, I started seeing them a lot. And they would have these glowing red eyes too. And I would see it all the time. So I would just be sitting in like the living room, I don't know, watching Rugrats or whatever, and then see it peek around the corner and then zip away. And then over time, they stopped being less elusive, like they'll peek around the corner and go away. And then they'll zip around a corner and go another direction. They'll zip into another room, go another direction. Then after a while, they started noticing me watching them. So then they would just kind of watch me watch them. Then at night, I always saw them at night. It was always two. There was a taller one and a smaller one. For some reason, the taller one felt like it was a more masculine, and the smaller one felt a little bit more feminine. I don't know really what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I would describe it as a figure that's completely black, glowing red eyes, and it would look like, one looked like it kind of was like wearing like a cowboy hat, and the other one looked like it was like, had like a hood, like over his head. Like, I don't know what the heck these things were, right? So I would always see them at night.
Yeah.
And
I just picturing this like dark figure in the middle of the night with a cowboy hat on. He's like, yeah.
well, like,
no, but
I know what you mean, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like, if it was wearing a hat, like it looked like a brim hat.
Almost like the shape of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like when it moved, it looked like it had like a hood. And then like the way it would move, it would glide and it would go through walls and stuff. So I just kept seeing those. And then these poltergeists got worse and worse and worse. Stuff started moving at night. And then while all this was going on, family was fighting more, right? Cousins were fighting more. My aunts are fighting. Because my cousin and my aunt, they both live together because they're like roughly the same age. So they're fighting a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Then my mom, she's going through what she's going through, right? I'm kind of caught in the middle, and then my dad's gone while all this is happening. And then he comes home, my parents were fighting. Then he's gone, and then they're fighting. Then I'm like kind of getting beat up at the same time. Like,
yeah. Like, oh God, you're in the crossfires.
I'm in the crossfires of all this. It's kind of funny later on, like years later in high school, I started hearing about how apparently, and I don't know how true this is, that as the band was growing in popularity, there were witch covenants that were trying to cast spells on the members of the band and their family to try to destroy them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild when you think about it. And and so then we're looking into like,
I wouldn't doubt it.
yeah, it's like, all right. So where it got interesting, I start seeing this thing move into stuff. Like, so it'd move, like, I remember when I was a kid, I saw this shadowy figure move into like a stuffed bunny. And then the stuffed bunny's eyes start glowing. And its head is not able to turn, but it turns and starts speaking to me. And starts like laughing, like demonic. So I'm seeing stuff like this going on at like 6, 7, 8 years old, 9, like every night.
Terrifying.
This is terrifying stuff, right?
You tell your mom or dad or anything?
So at first I just thought it was just my mind playing tricks on me. And then I just thought they were nightmares, which is another thing. I was having nightmares every single night, like every single night. If I went to bed, I had a nightmare. I always died in my dreams every single time. And then the other thing that was crazy was that then I had these reoccurring nightmares that I think they stopped maybe in my early 20s. And there's like a reoccurring nightmare that I would always have, and we'll get into that one.
Okay.
But I would see it enter stuff, then I also see it enter people, and people start acting up.
What?
Yeah, it was nuts. So I just kept seeing these things, right? And then as I got older, I was like really curious of what the heck is this thing?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what is it?
That's what I'm waiting to ask.
Yeah. I'm like, what is this thing? And so I just like looked it up. So I think it was when I was like in middle school, like late middle school, early high school. I looked it up. Apparently, people all over the world have been seeing these things. This isn't like something made up. Like, this is a legit paranormal experience that people see and experience all over the world for generations. So there's a name for it. They call them like shadow people or like the old hag or something like that. Like one of the things that happened was I've always noticed that every time I saw it, I had like really bad nightmares. It would sit in that night and watch me. And I also would have like sleep paralysis. Like I would be sleeping and it's like sitting on top of me.
The closest thing I can think to what you're saying is I've had some instances of sleep paralysis,
Yeah.
even up until my early 20s,
Right.
that were very profound.
Right.
Dark images and stuff like that. I don't recall red eyes, but
Yeah.
something similar that was like scary as hell.
Right. But here's the weird thing about it was that as a kid, when I saw it, I wasn't afraid of it. I just thought it was like, oh, you're not supposed to be here.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I think what was interesting about it was that I guess, and like looking back, like when I started like looking into it, what it was, it's some sort of like vampiric creature that feasts off of fear. So it shows up and you're supposed to be scared as hell. So that feeds off your fear and then starts trying to mess you up in that sense. So because I was kind of like a curious kid, for some reason, I just wasn't afraid of it. Then it would just kind of stand there and watch me watch it. And it's like, okay, this kid's not scared.
But you saw how it would manifest into other people.
Yeah.
And you realize, and
that's
you saw people get angry. That usually stems from fear, like.
So that's the only way it does. So it figured out. So, okay, if I can't feed off of fear to this kid by just being present, then maybe I need to start entering other people and use that person to harm the kid or enter objects, you know what I mean, to try to scare the kid.
Yeah.
So then it would work in that sense.
Yeah.
And so then one night I was sleeping and I just got so used to seeing it. And so it would just be sitting in the room like, oh, whatever. Just go back to sleep.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh, it's one of you guys.
Again.
Get away.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Not going to do nothing. So I roll over and laying on my stomach. And then I felt something pin me onto the floor, on the bed. It's like pinning me down. And I can't physically see it, but I can like sense it. Like it had these tendrils, like an octopus, like reach into my, like around my belly. Like it's like wrapping onto something. I guess you call it like my soul or something. And it's trying to pull me out of my body, right? Like pull or push me out of my body. So instead of being afraid, I am pissed. I'm angry now.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like, I felt like I was like in a car and someone's trying to pull you out of a car.
Yeah.
Right. Now I'm angry. So now I'm like, so instead of me being afraid, now I'm like, we're throwing hands, bro.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't like it. And like, I'm going to figure out a way to punch you. Like now I'm pissed. Then it backs off. And instead of fear, now I'm angry at this thing. Right now it kind of backs off and then leaves. And then for a while it would always sit. And then every night for like a week, it was sitting on my floor. Like it looks like it was like a black cat, like a panther. And it was just like glowing eyes, was just like, watch me. And then after a while, and I wake up the next morning, I'm thinking, oh, maybe I left blankets or something on the floor. It's gone. So it was like doing that for a while. And then after a while, it would leave me alone. I stopped seeing it.
Dude.
And so then like maybe a couple of years later, I'll start seeing it again. And then it comes back. And a couple of years later, I'll see it and it starts coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, fast forward. I was trying to figure out what the heck is this thing?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I'm like trying to figure out what it is. And so, so there's been many different stories of it. So it was the shadow man, shadow people, and the first religion, was two religions that like was really talking about, because I've talked to people at church about it. It's like, oh, it's just a demon. I'm like, okay, well, like, what do you do? So I start praying for it and like try to get rid of it and stuff like that. And it would go away and then it will come back. It's like reoccurring. It's like it goes and comes back, goes and comes back. But nothing went into full detail, because the Bible, the Christians I talk to talk about like the devil being some like red dude with horns. No. I don't think of a demon, and that's what I'm thinking of, right?
I think of like my heavy metal music. It's like, I'm like, yeah,
you know what I mean?
You know, exactly.
So, the new age people were the ones that were talking about it. So a lot of your like new age Wiccans and stuff like that, had an answer to what it is, right? So they're like, well, it's just these shadow creatures from this other dimension that would just come around and start messing with you. Yeah. And they're vampiric and they like feed off of negative energy, and that's what they eat basically. It's like food. It's like sustenance for them. Yeah. So it's probably a reason why they were like, watch me, because I wasn't afraid. I was like curious, like, what are you? And then it backs off when I get pissed off at the thing.
Yeah.
Now when it comes into my room, I'm angry.
Yeah.
So every time it sees me, I'm angry, and then I start praying, it leaves. It just leaves me alone.
Yeah.
The other religion that talked about it in detail was Islam. The nation of Islam they called it jinns.
Jinns.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I was like looking into all these different religions, trying to figure out what it is.
Very tied in with like the Slavic stuff too.
Yeah.
If you ever played the game The Witcher, they have jinns.
Oh really?
Yeah. That's like actually like something you fight in those things. Yeah, I used to love The Witcher, but yeah.
Yeah, I stopped seeing them as much because I really start like praying, try to be on the right path spiritually. But sometimes I wonder like if they're just around, but I'm just not like I'm not in tuned enough to see it. Do you know what I mean?
Ever spend all day painting only to end up with more paint on yourself than your walls? Don't do that again. Call Fresh Coat Painting Services, the #1 paint crew located right here in Middle Tennessee. And hey, if paint happens to get on your car, no worries. Head on over to Lake and Land Detailing to get it sparkling clean, and you might as well even get a ceramic coat on it. Now, after a long day, you'll probably need a boost. That's where Protein Snack Shop comes in. High protein, guilt-free snacks to keep you going strong. And to finish it all off, treat yourself at Speakeasy Aesthetics. Because self-care isn't optional, it's essential. For more information on any of these amazing businesses, check out the links below.
So going through that and experiencing that, and it's like as an adult, looking back on it, something I was kind of thinking about was my dad was very strong spiritually. Didn't see them much when he was home.
He was like this light.
Right. So I'm thinking that, as a Christian, when you're in your walk with Christ and stuff like that, you may be right yourself, but you got your home you got to think about. You know what I mean? So you got to pray over your home. You got to pray over your kids and your family. And
so his absence maybe.
Right. Plus, like,
other people bringing their energy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And anytime, like, if you're one of those people who's out trying to do the right thing, people are going to be trying to pray for your demise. They're going to try to bring evil into your home. And I think it's one of the things that people don't really pay attention to is like how they bring evil into their own home, and then they don't really know how to deal with it.
Yeah, if you don't mind, that's how I've always, this reminds me how I've always looked at like how evil spirits are, right? They hide in the shadows. I feel like to a degree they're always watching. They're waiting for that moment of weakness, of fear, or whatever that negative emotion is, maybe even depression, to like come in and manifest and feed off of you.
Right.
And make that fear grow or that depression grow, which obviously leads to certain things.
Right.
That's how I visualize what demonic spirits or evil spirits are. Like, that is what they do, and it goes back to the light thing. You'll like this. I've talked about this on the podcast a bunch. When I put my daughter to bed every night, I say lux in tenebris, which means light and darkness. And I say, you are light. I said, no darkness can harm you. And I reinstill that in her. Like, there's no darkness is going to harm you. Right. So that way she believes it, but also like, I don't know. I just do have this inherent understanding that things are watching, especially when you're on a good path. Like, things are wanting to tear you down, so you always got to be vigilant in a way. And I think that's a spiritual thing. Just be spiritually vigilant and strong in order to combat that.
Well, I think
does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think the hard part is pattern thinking. Because there's a bit of mental and psychological that aspect to it. Because I really do believe mind, body, and spirit is all kind of linked to the same thing. You know, so if you don't take care of one, it's all gonna eventually affect each other.
Yeah.
And this yourself, working in fitness, is that how does a person get fat? Like, how does that happen? Well, it's because of pattern thinking. It's not necessarily like the person's necessarily like they eat too much And you could say laziness, but there's a pattern,
Yeah.
you know, and that's why like a lot of people that I know that really take care of themselves, really got their life together, is that they have a lack of a better word, a ritual, like,
Yeah.
that they're doing. You know, the ritual is I get up in the morning, maybe 4 or 5 in the morning, however early it is. I, do my devotion, go to the gym, work out, and then I come after that, drink my protein, my creatine. After that, have my breakfast, do everything. There's a way that you a consistency. And
Yeah.
at first, the pattern is hard. It's not set yet. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
trying to set a groove into wood. It's not quite there yet. But as you keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, the pattern gets set in.
Yeah.
And so I also think like that happens is your pattern thinking, even just your perspective, you could have a certain pattern of thinking that invites evil.
Hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's more than just, I'm just going to pray, I'm going to go to church. That's not enough, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, you have to change your pattern of thinking, which is I'm working on. Many people are working on.
Yeah.
And because that pattern of thinking, once that starts changing, then certain evil and certain evil starts to dissipate, and certain good starts coming back into your life.
But you have to be intentional about it, like
Yeah.
always. You know, it's not you just like, all right, this is where I'm at. I'm good. You know,
We're good.
I think that's just because then there's complacency falls in, and then you invite those things in because it's just like you're like an open door. They're like, all right, let's go after them. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I visualize it. I think that takes, lifetime worth of intention and devotion
Mhm.
to whatever it is, and action. I'm big on like the actions you take too, and that can be pattern actions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's a saying, some friend said a while back, and it's always stuck with me: all life is ritual.
Oh, that's a nice one.
So if you look at life in general and your day to day as ritualistic,
Mhm.
that forces you to be a little bit more intentional about everything that you do.
Right. Right.
So anyways, but this is my addition to everything you were saying, because it's so intriguing. And obviously I know you're going to dive into it further, but I wanted to share my 2 cents because I'm sitting here thinking like, damn, that is wild.
Mhm.
Because it's very vivid memories you have of these things.
Mhm.
That's very specific. And I just, it kind of blows my mind. So thanks for sharing that. It's very vulnerable too.
Yeah. I don't really like talk about it too much because it'd be like, oh, this dude's crazy. It's schizos. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah,
but it was kind of a lesson in like at an early age of like kind of what evil is, but then that there is something beyond
Yeah.
physical. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's something else out there, um, and I don't even like to look at it like a lot of people want to call it a spiritual dimension. Sometimes I don't like using the word spiritual because it sounds like something magical, something mystical. I like it, and this is where I'm a bit of and this is where like my math, logic, engineering brain from my dad I kind of get. I like to look at it as dimensions, like it's another dimension. These beings that are not supposed to be here are screwing around with stuff that they're not supposed to be screwing around with. And us here are messing around with stuff that we're not supposed to be messing around with.
Oh, yeah.
And it invites them in. I'll even admit myself that curiosity kills the cat. That even myself being curious, I have kind of delved down into other religions and other pagan practices to try to figure out what the heck is out there and what really, you know what I mean? And that was like a whole other journey of trying to figure out what's out there. You know what I mean? So I went down the
seeking understanding,
the realm of paranormal, which may not been the smartest decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It goes back to that discernment you were talking about earlier, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because there's a lot of, again, with whether it's Abrahamic or pagan traditions or whatever, like there's some depths that you got to be careful you dive into.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's things I wouldn't dive into. You know what I'm saying? Just because I know,
Mm-hmm.
like I've done a lot of crazy shit, but I've never touched a Ouija board just because I know it doesn't sit well with me.
No, it's weird. I never. That was where I've always drawn the line.
I draw a hard line on that shit
because I remember I walked into it was an occult shop in San Diego, and I was standing in line, and this lady had bought a Ouija board. She's at the cash register, the Ouija board. So these are all your like new agey people. Like these people are not Christian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The lady behind the book shop was like, "Are you sure you want to buy that?" And then she's like, "Yeah." And it's like, we just like, "Are you sure you want to buy that?" So she's like trying to like talk her out of it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think you want to like. This is the they want to make money. Like, why would they? Why does she care? Like, she's
She
like,
obviously did. That's weird.
yeah. She's like, yeah. I don't think you want to mess with it. Like, even then at the occult bookshop, they're like, yeah, I don't think you want to mess with that Ouija board.
You know, I remember one time I was 18 and I was just messed up on some Xanaxes, dude, bunch of
Right.
them. But I specifically remember someone pulling out a Ouija board out of some apartment, and I was like, "Nope, peace out." I left. I don't really recall how I got home or wherever I went, but I remember that just like, "Nope, I'm not even gonna be around that shit." I just certain things, man.
So like, I was curious. So I'm actually talked to the lady after this person, the worker, and I asked her about like, so what's the deal with the Ouija board? And then the way she was explaining it was that I guess the way the universe is set up, you have these different levels of like these different dimensions, right? And our dimension is like the lower, but we're not the lowest.
Yeah.
But it's low, right? When you're talking about like angels and all the other stuff, it's so high in dimensions. I mean, the way it was explained is like dimensions are all separated by like vibrations, like on on a guitar or like guitar strings. They have different vibrations. So as something vibrates at a higher level, the universe is at a higher dimension because everything is vibrating at a higher level. So the way she was explaining it was that the Ouija board opens the door to whatever dimension is close to you because it's just a door, right? So we're closer to the lower vibrations. So obviously evil is going to come in. It's kind of like if you're in Compton and you leave the door open, well, you don't live in a nice neighborhood now, do you? Right?
Yeah.
So if there's gangbangers and hookers walking down the street and you left the door open, you keep leaving the damn door open. And
someone's going to walk through.
Yeah. Hello, who's out there?
Yeah.
Well, you're about to find out who's out there, buddy.
Very similar. Yeah. So you may not always welcome in, you know, having that door open doesn't mean everyone's bad. But
you're
more
in
than
the hood,
likely,
bro.
yeah. And I would say today is day and age where all the chaos and collectively the vibration with a lot of people. Right now would not be the time to pull out a Ouija board.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damn. Nuts. Well, I never thought about it that way. I just knew it just wasn't good.
No.
So
don't do it. If you got a Ouija board at home, you better burn that
thing.
Just get it out, bro.
Yeah. Do some cleansing rituals, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
So back to you, obviously. So you're working your way through this. You recognize these things. You start to learn what these things are. You know, for the one I remember, Jinn, right?
I kind of like to call them shadow people.
Yeah. And I've heard that for sure. And it is very interesting, man. And I think it's good to be aware that stuff is out there.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to get people that are like, this dude's crazy, but who cares? You know, I mean, they're lucky they haven't faced certain things, I guess. But at the end of the day, that's your experience.
I kind of envy them is that they haven't experienced or seen such a thing.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's taught you something.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's value to take from it.
Right.
You know, even if you haven't seen it yet, there's something valuable from that. And I think you had this kind of maybe discernment or understanding that is there and that you want to protect what's around you, if that makes sense.
Right.
And maybe a lot of people are complacent to that. And so they get caught unaware. They're like, oh, shit, look what we let in the door. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's my perspective of.
It's kind of motivated me to like try to be, and I mean, and I'm really work at it. I try to be a positive person. I'm trying to like be a good person overall because my understanding is that they're attracted to negativity. So if you're a negative person and you have so much negativity in your life, you're so cruel to people and your thoughts are always negative, always in a bad state of mind, then that's what they're attracted to. It's like flies and honey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or fruit flies and whatever. So that's what they're attracted to.
So you're trying to maintain that positive.
Trying to maintain that positive, man.
Dude, if you need to, you just hit me up, be like, jokes, say some
Yeah.
positive shit. I got you.
And it's funny now. So fast forward, you know, we're skipping a couple of chapters here. So now I work at a jail. Not gonna say which one, but I work at a jail, and inmates in jail talk about seeing these things.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah,
And you're like, oh,
I know what that is.
I've been there.
Yeah. So there's inmates. I hear them talk about it. It's like, yo, man, there's this thing that's floating around in the jail. Damn. There's these things that's going in our cells and stuff. So it's like, okay.
That's pretty terrifying as well.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of trapped there.
Well, apparently a lot of inmates see it.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's common in jails. And I start looking it up. It's like, yeah, it's a common thing. So if you talk to somebody like I know someone who works in the jail as working psych, and they deal with like suicide watch and stuff. She was saying the same thing. It's like they constantly report seeing these things.
I never heard that, man. That's
Yeah.
pretty, that's pretty terrifying, dude.
That's pretty wild.
Man, I'm just trying to put myself there, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yep.
If you can only see it. Well, so, all right, rewind back to
Okay.
this transition
Okay.
or this time in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in your adolescent years. You know, you live in a good material life,
Mm-hmm.
but there's some things missing. You're seeing these things. There's the other struggles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So moving forward throughout that time, this is the beginning of kind of like your spiritual awakening, whatever you want to call it. You're noticing some things, though, it's bigger. What does life look like for you moving forward, into your teenage years and high school and afterward?
So I started to, I think this is where a lot of changes happen is your teenage years. I still was seeing them in my teenage years, not as much, but then I was kind of upset with the church.
Yeah.
At the time. So I saw the good that my dad was doing. I saw the good that the church was doing, that their band is spreading the word. But the Christian community kept attacking them because they had the guts to go on MTV and spread the word. They had the guts to go on the VMAs and spread the word. Because they want to share a concert stage with System of a Down or Korn, and they're friends with Korn. I mean, it's like they'll meet it because they're like, oh, these guys, they're devil worshippers. If you're tangling with devil worshippers, which Korn, they're not devil worshippers, but they're devil worshippers, and because you're tangling with these people, now we have a problem with you. So the Christian community started coming after the band.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, all right. I mean, you don't see the good that they're doing, and you're doing that. Then, second thing that happened was I was in youth group, and they took all of the youth groups, because I was part of this church, and this church has these different chapters up and down California, and then I think we had some chapters in Arizona and Nevada. And so they brought all like the different youth, and we also do have like the youth group camps. Like we all go to camp together out in I forgot the mountains, but it's dope. Like it's so cool. We get to go snowboarding. But it's pretty cool. So they brought us all together, and for all the adolescence thing, this is also at the very beginning of the whole feminism craze. And and I'm young, so I'm like not quite sure like what this ideology that they're trying to push on us.
Yeah.
But man, it was 3-4 hours of male bashing by the church.
At the camp?
No, it was like, well, we all go to camp together, but they sent us to like they got all the youth groups together in this like auditorium. Right. And it was like a thing that's supposed to last. I think it was like a whole Saturday. Right. This Saturday, I could have stayed at home playing PlayStation or riding my skateboard, enjoying my life. But instead, I'm here being told how evil I am because I'm a boy. You know what I mean?
What?
Like, basically, it's like, well, you guys are getting to that age. And so what you're going to have to do is make sure that you control your urges, because these females, they're just angels. And you boys really need to control yourself. It's like, that's basically the subtle message that
Yeah.
we were just told. Now, rewind from that. Now, here's the funny part. Rewind from that. 2-3 months prior to this, I had gone to Bible camp, right?
Yeah.
So we're at Bible camp, and I had met my very first girlfriend, right? The rule is no camp love. That's what they say. Not allowed to date, obviously. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm dating this girl. We're not supposed to, but I'm dating this girl. When what's dating? What? Holding hands and giving each other candy. Like, you know what I mean? It's innocent. We're all like Christian kids. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You met at camp, you know?
We met at camp, you know?
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like, nothing weird, you know? It's just like, you know, conservative Christian camp, you know? Come to find out, I had another friend of mine. This is maybe 3 or 4 days into camp. Like, he's like, "Hey, man, I have to show you something." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "You need to come down. I'm playing pools, or I'm at camp playing pool." And he's like, "No, we gotta go to the lake." My wife's like, "Right now, we gotta go to the lake." I'm like, "All right." So we're talking, and then he took this weird direction. So there's like a trail that comes from the pool area, and like the rec room. It goes down, and it goes down into this valley, and it comes up this hill, and then as you continue going, you end up in this lake.
Yeah.
Right. And where like the zip lines and like the go-karts and crap is at. So instead of going down this trail, he takes this weird direction through, like, we're going Lois and Clark through the trees. I'm like, what? Okay, whatever. But we're talking, I mean, and we're just talking. I forgot what we were talking about, gaming or something stupid. So we're going up, and as we're going up I would come out of the bushes, she's holding hands with this other guy and kissing with this other guy. Right? I'm like, this is my first girlfriend, and this is like 3 days. It's like 3 days, bro.
This is what you do? Yeah. But men are just
We're
so
at
terrible.
Bible camp, damn it. What are you doing?
You need to slow your roll, girl.
Like, what are you doing, buddy? So I'm pissed. And then I see what happens. I'm like, okay, I see. So I'm mad. So I storm off towards the lake, and my friend, he starts going off on her and going off on him. So I'm like, I don't even want to deal with this. Like, I'm like hurt and I'm upset, and I'll walk away.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck happened. I don't know what happened. But that night, the youth pastors were mad at me. And then I have some of the girls are mad at me. I'm like, what? Why am I the bad guy? I didn't do anything. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had pastors are mad at me, and it was like, yeah, we got to keep you away from the girls. I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
Jesus.
I haven't got my first kiss yet. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, guys,
like,
come on.
Why am I the bad guy here? So the youth group pastors are like, we need to keep an eye on this kid, and they're being weird to me. Girls are mad at me. Like, everybody's like being weird. And so then what was interesting was there was the group of the boys, like, we knew what was going on. We were like, no. This girl, she cheated on him, so she's in the wrong. So why are you being the one being demonized as the one who did something? So then I was like, okay. So this is how the church community functions. Okay, so you got these girls that cheat, and then my next girlfriend, she was a little loose girl too, also a Christian girl I met at the church. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. And then we're told, and then remember,
You're being fed that narrative that
I'm
men
not
are
being
bad.
fed in this narrative that we're the bad guys here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they're telling my dad, yeah, we got to keep him away from these girls, man. I was like, my dad's like, what happened at camp? I'm like, I told him what happened. I'm like, I didn't do anything. I don't understand what the heck happened here, right? So I was like, okay, so I see how the church functions. This is what you guys do, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so after a while, I was like, ugh, okay. what do I consider myself one of these people? Is my question. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't buying into the feminist narrative that they're telling me. And I wasn't buying into like, somebody going out and doing something for the greater good for God, but you're going to attack the people that are doing something for God.
Yeah.
I don't buy that.
Yeah.
What you're doing here. I also didn't buy the judgment. I didn't like the judgment that's happening, because and maybe looking back, I mean, yeah, I listened to secular music. I was into System of a Down. Why not?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to hell because I'm listening to System of a Down. Make that make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't cheated on anybody. How's that?
Yeah.
I haven't lied about anyone, but yet you want to judge me. Okay. All right. Let's see what's going on here. So then that kind of really made me kind of walk away from the church. I mean, it doesn't seem like much, but when you're young and you're in that.
So some big influences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It causes you to kind of walk a different direction.
Well, your dad was also your biggest influence, and they're attacking him.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the very obvious thing too. It's like, man, he's doing positive shit, and y'all are hating on him.
Right.
What the heck? And
that's what I'm saying.
And you're going to get defensive because it's your father.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I don't see why you wouldn't feel that way.
Right.
Yeah. But it doesn't follow under that, not to talk about all churches, but that church specifically doesn't fall under their narrative of somewhat control, right? He's not doing what they want him to do or so on. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just the church. It was other Christians in the United States.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's a rock star. Yeah. I can see it now.
So they're attacking the band for a little. There was a period of time where they were attacking the band for a little bit. And I was like, I don't understand why you guys are doing that. You know what I mean? So I started to kind of walk a different path. I started to really walk away from the church. This is where things start kind of getting a little wild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, things at home wasn't going well either. So I just started going a different path. And then where it kind of got really rough was, now he's gaining fame and popularity. And I'm kind of the son of a famous person in a sense. So I don't really have an identity anymore. I'm like, oh, you're that guy's son. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So, which is fine. It's no big deal, but then it becomes a problem because then you don't know who your friends are. So you're trying to make friends with people, but then you're making friends with people and they're trying to get autographs from you. It's like,
oh, yeah.
What the heck? You have a girl who's interested in you, but she's interested in you because she's trying to get autographs from you.
Well, by the way, can you get your dad on my podcast? I'm just joking.
Yeah.
That said, I did not know who his dad was prior to this. So,
So a lot of this was going on where I always had people kind of using me or trying to use me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To get
stuff, to get free concert tickets and CDs and
ridiculous.
Crap. Just ridiculous stuff. And I'm having a rough day. How's your dad doing? No, not how are you doing? How's your dad doing? So that started to piss me off after a while, honestly.
Yeah. It almost kind of came resentful.
Yeah, it kind of got on my nerves. It was like, well, yeah, I'm doing fine. Did
you feel any resentment towards your father?
No.
To any degree? Okay, I'm just curious.
Not at all. I've never felt resentment. I was proud of my dad. I was proud of what he did. So I was never had any anger or hatred or anything like that towards him. But
I only ask because maybe it's all about him, not me. You're a kid, right? You could see where there would be resentment for some people.
So I just didn't tell people.
Yeah.
So if you knew, you knew. If you didn't know, you just didn't know.
Okay.
So I was got so used to not telling anybody who my dad is.
Yeah.
Nobody. If no one asks, I won't tell anybody.
Yeah.
So that's that issue. So this is because my teen years was rough. It was very, very rough. The other part that made it rough was, my mom did everything she could to keep me out of the ghetto.
Yeah.
So did my dad. They're they were willing to go and move to a mixed race, upper middle class neighborhood and struggle, right? And this is why I'm thankful for my parents. You know, they chose to move up and live in a higher social class and struggle than stay in a poor neighborhood like in the hood and do okay.
Yeah.
Because they knew that if you're a young black kid living in a certain neighborhood, you're gonna be around certain kids and you're just gonna, you know.
Yeah, they didn't want that direct influence around you. So
Right.
if they could at least try to get you around some better influence.
Right.
Now, to say, like, you know, in all neighborhoods and classes of life, not everybody's the best influence.
Absolutely.
But it was better opportunity for you.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is now an issue. Now this is where we go into like the whole race issue. So if you are black but didn't grow up in the ghetto, and then you meet other black people who did grow up in the ghetto, you're not going to be accepted by them. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And then what's funny is that you also have people who aren't black, who are not from the ghetto, who are also going to judge you for not growing up in the hood.
Yeah.
And speaking a certain way. So I had to deal with this issue was because I spoke a certain way. I listened to all music, right? I listened to hip hop, and I was a hip hop head. I was like really into like underground, Wu-Tang Clan, Method Man, Far Side, the Grave Diggers, Onyx, like like I was into like,
I know a couple of those names.
yeah, man. I like loved hip hop, man. I was really into hip hop, but I also liked metal.
Yeah.
I also like funk. I also like jazz. I also like electronic. I liked trip hop. I listen to everything, right? Yeah, like it's cool living in the US, but I like to go travel Europe. I like to travel Asia. Like, you know, back in the day, you know, it was weird if you were black and you liked anime. You're like, yeah, I liked anime. Yeah. I also watched Boys in the Hood and Fridays too. So what difference does it make? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had to constantly deal with this issue where like it wasn't just from black people, but it was people who weren't black. They were very quick to judge me in a negative way. Like I wasn't black enough because I didn't say the N-word every 5 seconds and I'm not in and out of trouble. Like, and then it seemed like there was a lot of pressure to be a black stereotype, but the black stereotype is not a good stereotype. It's not like, you know, it's not like being Asian, like, oh man, like you got a B on your test, you're bad Asian. You need to get straight A's. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So I imagine as an Asian person's like, I can't fail this test. I can't fail this test because not only did I study for this test, and not only are my parents gonna beat my ass, but I am Asian, damn it. There's no way in hell.
We're going wild with the stereotypes.
Yeah,
right now.
there's no way in hell that I'm gonna get a B+ on this math test. Like, we're not doing that. So I would imagine some of my Asian buddies are like, that's like extra push of motivation to get good grades. But
oh, it's funny. See, you could say, if I said it, they'd flag it. They'd be like, look at him. Nope.
If I was watching, I'd be subscribed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So nah, man, it sucks because it's so it almost, and I caught this early, like in my 8th, 9th grade year. I was like, oh, so society is pressuring me to be a negative person.
Yeah.
Right? Because all the black stereotypes that I was being pressured to be weren't good. Right? I wasn't sagging my pants. I wasn't cursing every 5 seconds. I wasn't like disrespecting women. I wasn't like, you know what I mean? I actually tried to do decent in school. Like, so, and I wasn't getting in and out of fights unless someone started a fight. I wasn't, actually was straight edge, didn't do any drugs or nothing up until like I got into college. So
Yeah.
I stayed pretty straight and narrow. So that was like something I always had to wrestle with, was like, oh, okay, well, you know, I got really annoyed with some black people because I didn't like want to be around certain people because I have to try to prove my blackness to them. But I'm so stubborn and bullheaded that I'm like, I don't need to prove crap to you. Like, you know, why do you talk that way? Because I talk this way. Because I read damn books, dummy. Like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like,
Is that a thing though? Like, you
oh
get mad
yes,
for...
it's a thing. And this is something that like, it's funny because it's not in the mainstream talked about much. It's not as much as it should be, but it's really a thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm living in a neighborhood where the houses around me at the time was 500 grand, 250,000 to $600,000 was the
Yeah.
houses in my neighborhood, right? You have black kids that live there, right? I knew this dude every sentence. Yeah, nah, blood this, blood that, talk blood, everything blood. Like he's trying to act like he's a blood. It got on my nerves one day. One day I took him aside. I'm like, yo, man, where do you live? He's like, I live over there, blood. I'm like, all right. I was like, so do you know how much that neighborhood is? Those houses over there are $300,000. There's no way in hell you're a blood. It's just you're not a blood. Like you stop trying to act like you're in a gang. Like just stop doing that.
Yeah.
And he just kept acting like he's hood, like he's blood. We had a football game. I'll never forget this. So my Pop Warner year, you know what Pop Warner football is? It's like junior football. So Pop Warner year, I played for a football team that, because I had to choose between this new neighborhood where all like the new, it's called East Lake, was all like, that's like the new neighborhood, because that's where all the rich kids go play Pop Warner. And then there was Chula Vista, which was like the Mexican hood.
Yeah.
Right. It's like the lower middle class. That's where they all play for. That's Chula Vista, right? Well, I was like, well, I'm gonna play for the team that's been around, right? So I went and played for Chula Vista, right? So I had friends of mine after we got out of graduated and went into high school. So I go to my high school, then they go to their high school, and we lost touch. Then their high school, because the kids that left that popular team tend to go to this one high school, and that high school played my high school.
Yeah.
So it's before the football game. I'm like sitting there in my gear getting ready. I see these two guys that I recognize from my popular years, right? And we start talking. I'm like, hey man, how you guys been doing this and that? They respected me because, and this is funny thing is I knew gang members. The gang members respected me because I didn't try to pretend I was in a gang. That's something gang members don't like, is when gang members when people are not in gangs, act like they're in a gang and they're not. They're trying to act hood.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, well, I'm going to test you, see how hood you are.
Or because you're immediately like untrustworthy.
Right.
Because you're being fake.
You're being fake. So the two guys, one dude I remember, I think he was a gang member, and the other one he was just a drug dealer. Both of them had already done time. Right. We're like, at the time, 16. We're like 16 years old.
Yeah.
These guys have already done time.
Yeah.
Right.
They got it.
They've already got
in there early. Yeah.
They've already got a record. So I'm like catching up, like, yo, man, how you guys been doing? We're just talking. And he's like, yeah, man, I just got out of juvie. You know, and it's like, oh, for what? It's like, man, I was just selling drugs and I got caught and they got busted, this and that. And like just talking to like, and I think one guy was a Mexican gang member. Like he was like a cholo. And then I forgot what the other guy was. This dude comes out, blood, man, I can't wait to start smashing blood, this, blood. And he's talking stupid. And he walked out of the locker room. The same kid was talking to that was like, dude, you're not in a gang, bro. Like, stop doing that. He said that. And then the two guys I were talking to were looking at him. Oh yeah, by the way, one dude did get busted for weapons possession. Right?
Yeah.
So
just a little something.
So they're both staring him down. Like, oh, you're in this neighborhood and you're a blood. So they're staring at him. I was like, yo, bro, no, please. I was like, he's stupid. He doesn't doesn't know.
Show him some mercy.
He doesn't know. And he's like kind of walks back in like, oh crap. You know?
Yeah.
So on a side note, I just kind of get off on tangent. It was something that I noticed was that like, so black kids will grow up in whatever neighborhood, poor, middle class, rich, doesn't matter. They get to a certain age where society is going to try to pressure them to be the black stereotype.
Yeah.
Right? And around that age, you have to make a decision. Are you going to be yourself, or are you going to try to be something that you're not? Right? I think most black kids go through this, especially black kids who grew up in the suburb. And so I saw like kids I knew that were were skaters all of a sudden trying to act like they're gang members.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you were just wearing etnies like last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you were just a skater. Like, so now you're acting like you're a gang member and you were just a skater like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, what gang are you in? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? That you're trying to act like you're a gang member. There's so many black kids that would do this. And then there was other black kids like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to go down that direction. And so then there's the rift where then the black kids that are trying to be the stereotype start to hate on the kids that don't do that, who don't go that direction. But it's not just the black kids that give them the hate. It's the white kids too that give them the hate. It's the Asian kids that give those kids the hate. Because it's like, oh, because you're not black.
Yeah.
But it was funny because there was times where I would like, all right, well, I start holding court. Like, all right, well, we want to talk about who's not black. Like, how much do you know about the civil rights movement? Like, want to go there?
Yeah.
Like, how much, like, so, and then like, you listen to rock music. I'm like, yeah, because it's black music. We came up with rock, stupid. Like, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? We like, I would kind of get mad at them sometimes and be like, you listen to jazz? Like, yeah, it's black music. Jazz is black music.
Yeah.
So
it's like you're damned if you do, but you're super damned if you don't.
Right. And then you can know everything there is about black history. You can know everything there is about the Black Panthers movement or anything. Like, you could be as Afrocentric as possible. But if you don't chuck and jive in this negative black stereotype, you're going to get hate from all directions. That's how it was when I was growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then behind their back, there'd be your friend, but like, they're like, nah, he's not black. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at one point, I got fed up. I got sick of arguing with people.
Just lashed out.
So I went full rock, bro.
Yeah? What did that look like?
Bro, bad. Bad, bro. They'll be like, what do you, so I'm listening to my headphones. I'm listening to Rammstein. I'm listening to like Marilyn Manson. I don't care. That's not black music. Fuck you. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Rammstein. I'm going to do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to metal. Dark metal. The darker the better.
Yeah.
Didn't care. I'm sick of trying to like argue with you guys.
I'm going to spook you with this.
Yeah. I'm sick of trying to argue with you guys, trying to like prove my blackness. Fuck you. I'm not
Yeah.
proving my blackness to nobody. I'm myself. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be me. And I'm going to go even more extreme to piss you off because you don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kind of went that direction, which is bad in a sense because I started rolling with the wrong crowd. So I knew like some of the guys I was talking to was like, there was some dark stuff. Like they're into magic and into witchcraft and like all kind of, and then that was also going down that spiritual direction of what the hell was those things I was saying growing up? Like, what was that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like, I think because of that, it kind of invited evil in.
You kind of chose kind of head in that direction as a form of rebellion in a way.
Oh yeah, I was rebellious as hell. I was pissed. I was just pissed off at society. I was angry with society. It's like, why are you pressuring me? Like, I want to do good in school, so why are you pressuring me to like do bad? Why are you pressuring me to act a certain way? That's like, I'm not that. I'm not. So I was like, you know what? F society. Like, F you. It's not even a black thing. It's like whites and Asians, everybody. Even like teachers were kind of giving me crap about it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why do you talk like this? It's like, because my parents made me read books. That's why I talk this way. Like, why is that bad? I'm an American. I speak English. That's how we speak in America. It's English.
Reading books are a positive thing.
Yeah. So I just got fed up and I said, you know what? I'm going hardcore as a rebellion against everybody. Yeah.
Did you see that? Did maybe that path deter people?
Yeah.
It seems like, because people are probably like, all right, we used to mess with him, but now he's into some dark magic. We ain't messing with him, talking shit now. He's going to curse.
I even put it on. I wasn't messing with magic. I really wasn't. But I was like, yeah, I'm messing with magic.
Yeah, of course.
Spirits, bro.
Yeah.
Hail
It's
Satan.
funny.
What's up? Like, I didn't care. Like,
dude, that'll freak people out.
I didn't care.
Even if you don't mean it.
I didn't mean it. But it was rebellion. I was getting pissed off with people because they kept getting this from all sides. It's like every day It's like, want to make fun of how I talk. I'm like, fine. Well, I'm gonna put a spell on you, bitch. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
It's just like,
Oh my God.
And they're like, oh, okay, okay. I'm
Something
back
happens. They're like, man, is that one kid from class?
Is one kid did voodoo on me? I'm like, shut up. No voodoo, bro. Come on, man. Seriously?
You know, yeah, it is interesting. Not to go off on the metal thing, but I think a lot of like that does a lot of, especially I listen to a lot of black metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it does stem from like opposing control, opposing religion. It's not, a lot of these guys aren't even truly like satanic, but that imagery and that message is in opposition to like that structure, right? They're like, screw all that.
Right.
You know, it's rebellious as hell, and it does deter people. And that's probably like in a way why I do like a lot of that music.
Right.
And I just love the style of it, man. I love it. But, you know, it doesn't like consume my soul into darkness, because I am not a reflection of what a lot of those lyrics embody. But, you know, you see why people do it. It goes right back to you as a child, man, just like not wanting to fit anybody else's stereotype. You just wanted to be yourself.
Right.
And that pushed you away.
Right.
And you think about current events and people these days, like how often stereotypes play a part in who people become. It's almost like impossible to be yourself because everyone's trying to fit you in a fucking box.
And they were trying and it felt like everyone was trying to put me in some sort of box that like, well, you got to be in the Christian box, or, well, you got to be in the black box, and you got to be in this box. You got to be in that box. And it's like, you know,
I've seen it not to that degree.
Yeah.
But as a, like, you know, a white dude that looks how I do, head tattoos and runes and saying, oh, I'm pagan. People want to put you in a certain box. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You've probably seen that. And so people expect you to be this certain way, which in reality, I'm far from what they expect. Right. And it's the same thing. People want to put you in a box, or if you're not in the box they place you, they're like, oh, well, you need to be doing this. They want to try to like guide your life for you.
Right.
When in reality, that's like, your heart's going to be the one that does that.
But I don't think it would have been as bad if the box they were putting you in reflected a positivity.
Oh yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like one of my good friends is Korean.
Oh yeah.
Growing up. And so, yeah, he had to deal with the pressure of being Korean, but one of that pressures is get good grades.
Yeah.
You get a doctorate degree in something, or go work in tech, make money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's pressure of achievement. You know, it's rough, but at least his box wasn't go to jail.
It wasn't limiting.
It wasn't go to jail. It isn't, you know, F the police, and it isn't doing drugs. It isn't like disrespecting the law, disrespecting teachers, and like being in and out of trouble. Because all the kids that were acting up, no one questioned their blackness. Nobody did.
Yeah.
But the black kids who were getting full ride scholarships are getting straight A's. Black kids that were staying out of trouble, the black kids that like took care of themselves, that read, and that like, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about a nerd, basically. I'm just saying like they're just responsible. They do what they're supposed to do. They, you know, they probably break dance and hip and you know, can rap and all, but like, you know, they go off to, you know, HBCUs or go off to some college.
Yeah.
Go off to USC or Berkeley or something like that, go pursue a master's degree in something. Well, there's something wrong with that kid.
Yeah.
Oh, because he's black and he's not supposed to care about education. There's something wrong with him. So I find that now it's not as bad anymore with the black community. Like there's more like black people like, that's stupid. Like, why are we doing that?
Yeah. I've heard about it talked quite a bit by, you know, black leaders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, the guys that a lot of people look up to, that have a lot of influence, that are speaking out on these things.
Yeah, it's weird. So I had to deal with that for a while. Grew out of it. I didn't really grow out of it till I went overseas.
Yeah.
So
let's dive into that. And
going overseas is what really changed me.
Was that was after high school, or?
That was after.
Okay.
That was a year after college.
Okay, so finishing up, you know, high school and stuff like that. You know, you're going into college. You know, briefly, what was that experience like in college for you? Because you said you started diving into, you know, things outside of the norm.
So I going into college, I was going into film. I regret getting a degree in film so much. I probably shouldn't have done that. I regret is such a stupid idea. Because they tell you, yeah, you can get a degree in anything. Okay, anything. This is. I feel like every millennial knows this. It's like they tell you that you can get a degree in anything, and you're gonna make it work. That's BS. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Get a degree in STEM. All right. Get it. If you're gonna go to college, get a degree in STEM or finance or something like that.
Yeah.
If not, go get a trade. If you're not getting a degree in STEM or finance or something in math or tech or engineer, like, or medicine,
Yeah. There's some things that are pretty specific.
bro, you're wasting your money. Don't go to college. Like, get a trade degree or just become an entrepreneur and start a business or start working your way up.
Yeah.
So I graduated high school a year before the crash of '08. So the economy is screwed. And so then after that, I graduated college in 2012 when the economy got screwed up again.
Nice.
Right.
Timing for both.
Perfect timing for both. And at the time, LA and Hollywood basically went to war with each other. It's dumb. So it's like, so Hollywood is the entertainment industry is generating so much revenue for Los Angeles County. Why do people go to LA? Why does any tourist go to LA? They go to LA because that's where the movies are made, damn it. So why is the county of LA County charging us out of the butt insane amount of money for insurance? Why they make us jump through so many hula hoops just to shoot on a street or shoot on a block somewhere? They made it damn near impossible for filmmakers to work in Hollywood. And then they were taxing the crap out of everybody. And plus the economy was screwed up. So there wasn't a lot of work. So that at the time you had filmmakers leaving off to Atlanta. That's where she started shooting The Walking Dead. The filmmakers production crew was going up to Vancouver. Production crews are going out to Carolina. Like, they're just leaving, right? Well, this is bad if you're like a young filmmaker who's just starting out.
Yeah.
Because all the opportunities are leaving. Plus, you also had YouTube was also taking out the sitcoms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then there was also the writer's strike happening at the same time. So when the writer's strike was happening at the same time, now there's less production happening. And then if there was production happening, reality shows were all the rage. Well, everybody wants to shoot reality shows now.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with reality shows is that you're shooting long hours. It's a smaller crew, because if let's say you're shooting I don't know, like some Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Right. You have your camera crew, right? You might have 3 cameras. We're talking about just basic studio. We're not even talking about going out and shoot. We're talking studio production. You have your 3 camera crew, your 3 camera operators. You have your assistant camera crew who are pulling focus and stuff like that. You got your second AC or the guy who does a clapper. Then you have your bunch of grips and electric guys. It's like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 of these guys. Then you have your gaffers in charge of that. You have the director of photography runs that. You're having a it's a crew. Like,
Yeah.
You're having like upwards to like maybe 50 to 100, 200, 300 people on a production roll. Now, because everyone's doing the reality shows now, well, a lot of those guys don't have work anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's just camera operators, right? And because the studios are broke, they don't have a lot of money. Well, they used to pay for the they used to pay the operator and then pay for the operator's renter fees to rent the equipment, because the equipment is expensive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're talking about a camera that just the body itself is $30,000.
Insane.
Who has a $30,000 camera? That's the body alone. We're not talking about the lenses.
That one recording you is.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But
No,
you're talking
please,
about
no one come rob me. That's not worth that.
but you're talking about the body's like 30,000, and then like you're talking about entire camera, the whole setup could be somewhere between at the time 50,000 to 100 grand.
That's just nuts, dude.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's for so they expect you to have this now because now they're no longer wanting to pay the renter's fee. So they're going to try to pay you as an operator just the daily fee and expect you to have all the gear up front already,
Crazy.
which it doesn't make sense. And then have a bunch of they call them production assistants. We're basically interns, full of production assistants. Why? Because you have to pay them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they're always like, oh yeah, come work for us because everybody is trying to pay their dues to get into the industry. So you're doing a bunch of free work. But then I come to find out, well, the industry, they're not going to hire these kids.
Yeah.
They're just using it for free labor.
Yeah.
And so then it got even worse because there was no production. Well, if your trade is cinematography, if your trade is grip and electric or whatever your trade is, well, what projects can you do? So instead, back in the day, what you would do as a young filmmaker, you would start working on these student projects, or you start working on not projects, but your Sundance Film Festival projects, your B films, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you kind of build and grind your way up. Well, at the time, you're competing with union guys for those projects who already have gear and experience, who are willing to work way less than they're supposed to because they're so desperate for work.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't make sense. You're not supposed to be doing that. So, plus I'm financially struggling. I'm like, well, there's just no point in doing this.
Yeah.
Just grinding and grinding and grinding and getting nowhere and getting broker and broker and broker. And then, to be fair, I was really afraid of like buying equipment on a credit card. I was like really afraid of credit card debt.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know if I could pay it back. So, because I knew buddies of mine that bought spent $30, $40, $50, $60,000 on camera equipment. And they're like, I'm just going to spend all that money and just try to pay it off later. And to be honest, that could have been where I kind of failed.
Yeah.
Because I just wasn't willing to like put myself in credit card debt.
Yeah.
For an uncertainty where the economy is falling apart.
Yeah, for sure.
But originally the plan was to work maybe for like on a project for 3 or 4 months. So yeah, originally my plan was to work on a project, grind for 3, 4 months straight, and then live cheap, then go and travel.
Yeah.
And come right back.
Yeah.
Did the same thing. That was the plan. Ultimately, I've always just wanted to travel. And so then I basically figured like this film thing isn't going to work, especially after I was working with this one camera operator who says he worked on Avatar. And I met a bunch of other guys who were where I wanted to be in life. Like cinematographers are where I wanted to be in life.
Yeah.
And photographers even who were where I wanted to be in life. And they were struggling. And their marriages are falling apart. And their life's falling apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like this one guy I was talking to, the cinematographer I was telling you that I was kind of like was mentoring me for a while, was when he's not working, he's looking for work. So instead of being present with his family, he's looking for work.
Yeah.
When he finally gets a job, he's on a project and he's shooting like 12, 13, 14 hours, 6, 7 days a week sometimes.
Yeah.
And he's gone on set. So at no point is he with his family. And I was like, okay, so if this is going to be my future, I don't want this to be where my future goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've already saw how the entertainment industry can kind of just like sap the life out of someone and kind of mess a family up, make it family difficult. So I was like, all right, I just want to go travel. Just get out of America and just go travel.
Just press pause on all this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I heard about teaching English overseas. Yep. And I was like, all right, my first country, I was like, I want to get into, let's go The first country I was looking at was France, because I
Yeah.
figured if I get into France or Germany, it'd be dope. Because if I get there, then I'm in the middle of everything. So if I could go west, I'm in England, and I go east, I'm in like the Middle East, or I can go to like Turkey or something like that. And I go
Yeah.
south, I'm in Africa.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, Germany and France, let's do it. Let's go
Yeah.
South France or Central Germany. That's where I was trying to get to. But at the time, the UK was under the I think it was like called the Schengen Agreement or something like that. Because I think the UK was part of the EU, and so what they weren't willing to do, a lot of the contractors weren't willing to pay for an American teacher to go teach English in Europe because you have to pay for the visa, the visa, the American visa.
Yeah.
So instead, they would rather hire an Englishman or an Irishman or a Scottishman because just bring them over. They're already part of the Schengen Agreement. So
Easy.
easy.
Yeah.
So that left Asia and Latin America. I was looking at going to Chile. So Chile was an option. I had a potential contract in Chile.
Amazing country.
Problem with Chile is how much they pay you. So I saw the most I saw was about $650 a month, US dollars, which is probably going to do pretty well in Chile.
Yeah.
But that's $650.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like if you ended up in anywhere in Asia, you're looking at the lowest that I saw in Asia was 800 a month. Really, on average, it was like 900. It was like your average lowest, and the highest I saw was like $3 to $4 grand a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This doesn't include the health insurance that they provide. Doesn't include sometimes they give you housing benefits. Doesn't include all that cool stuff they provide you. So I was like, all right, well, fine. I'm gonna try to get into Japan. Japan's hard as heck to get into because everybody and their mom was trying to get into Japan.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, new teachers they have to grind it out in a country or in a neighborhood that you probably would not be your first choice. So I ended up in this small, tiny village in the sticks, buttfuck middle of nowhere in central China. Like
Not where you would plan on going.
no,
But
I never in my wildest dreams ever thought I would be living in China. But I'm in like I would consider it the Mississippi of China.
nice.
It's like I was deep, bro. Like I was like 3 or 4 hours from the nearest airport. Deep,
Yeah.
deep, dude.
They're like, you had the wrong Piggly Wiggly.
It was crazy. Like I remember I had this language program that I was trying to learn Mandarin. My language program was all in what they call Beijinghua, right? Because there's different dialects of
Yeah.
Mandarin, but the one that most people are familiar with is the Beijing dialect of Mandarin. And everywhere else in China, which I didn't know this going there, is they speak several different languages in China. Not a lot of people know this. There's like multiple languages in China,
Yeah.
but there's the official language is Mandarin, right? But then in China, they have these little villages, and these little towns are separated by rivers and mountains and valleys and stuff. And the way a lot of like Chinese culture is, the people don't like, they're not like Americans where we're like, oh, I'm gonna go take a job over in New York and I'm from Texas. And all right, you're like, well, I'm from, I don't know, Idaho, and I see an opportunity in Florida. And I'm gonna go, Chinese don't do that.
Yeah.
They're very tight knit, very like in their family community. So you would have like generations and generations and generations and generations of family that live in the same village that goes back hundreds, maybe thousands of years.
Yeah.
And they have a certain language, a certain dialect they speak just there. And you just go over on the other side of the mountain, they speak a different language.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to learn Mandarin, and I'm speaking from a Beijing dialect, from what I'm learning from. They don't speak that dialect, man.
You're like, damn it, dude. I'm
Right?
some time.
They doesn't like they can kind of understand me, but not really. I mean, part of it, it's I'm still kind of learning, but it would be like, let's say you took someone from a foreign country, like they don't speak any English, and then they come to the United States, and their language program is in the Queen's English of Britain,
Yeah.
and then you drop them off in Louisiana.
Jesus. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
So you were unprepared.
Yeah. Oh, it gets crazier because I would go down there and Google doesn't work over there. So I can't use Gmail to contact my family like, hey, I got here safely, because I'm going to another country. So I need to be able to like check in with my family, make sure I got there. Bro, I can't contact anyone.
Just got to download TikTok.
Right. And TikTok didn't exist yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't exist yet. None of my social media works over there. I bought a phone that's supposed to be an international phone. Doesn't work over there. I even set up, and then on that phone, I've also set up like being able to go international calls from China to the United States. It didn't work.
So your family's did.
So I'm there, and I'm sitting there thinking, if anything goes wrong, all they're gonna know I flew to China and I disappeared.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's it.
That easy.
That easy. And I'm 4 hours away from the nearest freaking airport, bro. And the nearest embassy to me was in Guangzhou, which was like I would have to fly there. It'd have been like a 5-hour flight, I think. Not even, but it would have been a flight. Like I couldn't be able to take transit and get over there.
That'd be crazy. Imagine, isn't that crazy thing about like went over there and like, I don't know. It could be like they could never hear from you again.
Yeah,
They'd never know.
That'd have been it. So check this out. So a lot of times with foreigners, when we move there, we have to check in with the local police, right? It's a communist country. Well, communist with Chinese characteristics. So when you're over there, you have to register with the local government and with the local police. The local police officer couldn't speak English and he couldn't speak Mandarin.
Oh, shit.
He's a police officer.
So you spend like all day.
And he can't speak Mandarin, right? So my boss, I think she's from Beijing. So she speaks English and Mandarin. She can't really speak the local dialects very well, right? Her assistant, who is like their like advisor, her English is not that good, but she can speak Mandarin and she can speak the local dialect.
So it was just complicated.
So police officer goes to ask me a question. So they asked me the question. So it was me. There was this Russian guy, because he's also like the Russian teacher, and it was another English teacher, right? So police officer asks the advisor a question in the local dialect. She translates from the local dialect to Mandarin to tell the boss. The boss translates from Mandarin to me in English, and the question is, tell me about what city you were born, or like where were you born?
Yeah.
And then I have to answer back in English. She takes what I said in English, translates it into Mandarin to her, and then she takes what she said to her in Mandarin and translates it into the local dialect.
Jesus. So I'm sure, like, to answer whatever amount of questions it took some time.
Oh, it took time because there was 3 of us.
I want to do a podcast episode like that where we just like have to go through like 2 different, and we just like talk shit and just like, go back and forth.
It was just like, and we were just sitting there like just going back and forth. And I mean, really didn't take as long as you think, but it was a eye-opening experience. Like, okay, this is wild.
That is pretty wild.
Yeah. It took me 3 weeks to finally contact home, because I had to finally get a Chinese phone and be able to call home. And so it took me 3 weeks to pull that off.
And look how much we take. I mean, it's something we take for granted, just simple communication.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't think of anywhere here in the U.S. off the top of my head that I could call and not have like just a direct English conversation.
Right.
They may have a different accent,
right,
but we can understand one another.
Yeah.
You go there and it's like, dude, one village over, you're screwed.
Yeah. It was nuts. And then the question was like, how would they communicate? So a lot of times, if I couldn't communicate with them, then they would write things. So this was, I thought was really interesting, is that they would write things down and then show it to you. So they're write and show
in Mandarin.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the crazy thing about Chinese, is that Chinese is basically hieroglyphics. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like English is an alphabet system.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like C plus A plus T equals cat.
Yeah.
Right. Chinese, they draw a picture of a cat.
Really?
Yeah. So if you really look at Chinese characters, they're pictures. You know what I mean? So you have a symbol is Ren, which is like, it looks like a person standing. You see what I'm saying?
I'm about to learn some Chinese.
Yeah, it's so crazy. So it's like these different characters are different. Like there's a symbol that looks like I don't know how to say, but it looks like an elephant, but that says elephant. So they actually, those little lines, those little crazy squiggly lines, those are pictures.
All right, I'm gonna draw like a note here, and I'm just gonna like think of it. You're gonna let me know if you could read it.
So then what's crazy is that, so it would draw a symbol, and the symbol would be mountain, right? So it's like the, I think 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 4 lines, and it looks kind of like a mountain.
Yeah.
And you show them to different people, right? They're all gonna make a different sound with their mouth, but they know that's mountain.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
So how did you get through that?
I never really became completely literate, because when you learn Chinese, it's almost like learning 2 languages.
Yeah.
Because like Spanish, what's cool about Spanish is like, if you learn a word, you could write it, you could say it, because you could spell it. So if I see a word in Spanish, then I'd be like, okay, that's that word.
Yeah.
Right? If you learn how to say it and then you see it, you know what I mean? Yeah. So what's crazy about Chinese is that I could see a character and I know what the character means, but I don't know how to say it because it's a picture. So I know what that picture is. I know that character is mountain, but I don't know how to say mountain.
Yeah.
I know that character is tree, but I don't know how to say tree. Then there'll be like another thing. I know how to say, like, I don't know, hello, good morning, or I know I'll be able to say car, but I don't know what the character for car is.
Oh, okay. Jesus, dude.
Right. And so they say that I think it was 80,000, you have to memorize 80,000 characters to be considered literate. And I think it was 100,000 characters to be considered educated. I forgot the exact number, but the Chinese have to memorize all of that.
Yeah, they look at they
have to. It's this memorization. You have to memorize what these characters look like.
They'd be like, "Sir, you're illiterate for good."
Right.
I remember 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you mess up one line, like messing up one line isn't like misspelling could.
Yeah.
Like you come here in America, you spell could, C-U-L-D. Oh, I figure out. Yeah, you're trying to spell could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. I know what you're trying to say. Chinese is, you miss one line, it's a completely different word.
Oh, shit.
It's a completely different sound. It's not remotely close.
They might get offended. They're like, oh, dude,
What'd you say about my mama?
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
Oh, bro.
I was talking about that mountain over there.
Yeah.
I mean, would you say it was a positive experience?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's eye-opening because you realize how full of crap you are when you go and live in another country.
Yeah.
And then you realize how much we as Americans, we take for granted. You know, it was also wild as meeting foreigners from other countries, was pretty cool.
Yeah. I bet it was a cool experience. Did you get to go out and travel? Like, you know, were you able to get outside of the village and like just check out some of the stuff?
I checked out a little bit of stuff from other villages. Yeah.
Yeah. Because China's got some beautiful scenery too.
Oh, very, very. I've said this for a while, that the moment that China becomes like a democracy like the United States, we're in trouble.
Really?
Maybe not in a bad way, but they're real competition. Like,
yeah.
There's a very entrepreneurial people, very big country, very hardworking, still have traditional family values.
Oh, very deep roots. Yeah.
So the one Achilles heel of them is that government is the moment they don't have that government anymore, like they're going to be serious competition.
Yeah.
In every way, shape, or possible.
Damn.
I really think so.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I wouldn't know. I've never been there. I mean, they've already been pretty serious competition, I'd say, even now. So, well, I don't know. I don't. Yeah. I try to.
I ain't worried about it now, but like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, this stuff, like, you know, technology and building stuff, and like without having to steal.
Y'all hear that? Y'all better learn 80,000 symbols.
Yeah.
Get ready.
As soon as they figure that out, I mean, then, you know, it'd probably be like kind of like Japan in the 80s, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And Japan was like kind of rising and
crazy,
building tech, and we're like, oh crap, they're making the VCRs.
These guys are crushing it. Yeah.
Crushing it right now.
So,
damn it.
So coming out of that, like, how long were you there for?
I was in 3 years. So I was there for 3 years. So I was in the sticks, in which I liked the school, but I didn't like the attention I was getting.
Yeah.
Didn't like it because they've never seen a foreigner before.
Yeah.
So people following around with cameras, it was too much. It just made me feel very uncomfortable.
I got some of that when I was in Southeast Asia.
Oh yeah.
They all thought I was Thai Mafia.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because tattoos. They're like, Thai
Oh,
Mafia?
man.
And I'm like, no, I'm a freaking white dude from Tennessee.
Yeah, man. It was just way, way, way too much. I just didn't like it. This is
Yeah.
way too much attention. And then I was like, I kind of want to try to learn Mandarin, but this is not the place to learn it. And so then I took another contract, and there was 3 cities that I had to choose between. So it was Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Chengdu, right?
Yeah.
So I decided not to go with Shanghai because they speak Shanghainese. It's a
Yeah.
different language, right? I was like really trying to learn Mandarin at the time. Looking back, I kind of regret it not choosing Chengdu. Should have did Chengdu.
Yeah.
But I chose Guangzhou. So Guangzhou is right outside Hong Kong, and it's supposed to be kind of like a party city. And they have a lot of international people kind of coming in too. So I was like, I could probably be able to meet some pretty cool people there too.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a big city. So in China, they have them in different levels. There's like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I think I started from like a tier 4 city,
Yeah. Just like,
bottom.
yeah.
Guangzhou is like tier 1.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like supposed to be at the time, I want to say it was the 3rd largest city in China. So I know what it's like to be like people everywhere, like just all around you, everywhere you went. And so I was over there. I was meeting people from all these different countries, man. And what's a funny thing about English is you can get a guy from France and a guy from Saudi Arabia. The French dude can't speak Arabic. The Saudi can't speak French, but they both speak English.
I noticed that in Southeast Asia. Like getting around with English is pretty easy.
Right.
You know, and China obviously not, but most places English is a pretty universal. Like it's easy to translate things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I've never looked at it that way.
I don't know. It was easier for me to get around in some of the sticks of Thailand and shit, you know, up in the mountains
English,
and with English, or I don't know. Obviously, too, how you like express things can also play a big part of them. They'd be like, oh, yeah, you know. So,
well, really, it was funny. My favorite city, because I had to go for training for the school I was gonna work at. They sent us to another city for training, so I was in Nanjing. So Nanjing is the original capital of China.
Okay.
And I actually, of all the cities, Nanjing is my favorite. It's my favorite city. What I liked about Nanjing, I thought, first of all, Nanjing is beautiful. That was a very beautiful city. And the other thing that's cool about Nanjing was that there was enough foreigners there that people weren't tripping about you and not following you with cameras.
Yeah.
But there wasn't enough foreigners there to the point where no one could speak English. So you could not get around in Nanjing at the time in English. You could not do that. You had to speak Mandarin. I was like, this is perfect. This is where I want to be.
Yeah.
Right.
I learned that one.
Yeah. This is where I want to be. Unfortunately, I was only there for a few weeks, but I was like, yeah, I actually really liked Nanjing. So I was kind of getting around and, you know, meeting people.
That's cool.
And then I moved to Guangzhou, and then, yeah, I was in China for a bit.
Hell yeah. What was after China?
Australia.
So yeah, take us down to Australia a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. First of all, what led you into going to Australia?
Okay.
I could ask all kinds of questions about China, but then we would make a China podcast. Right. And I don't need to be on their radar. You know what I'm saying?
Which I'm probably was on their radar.
Really?
Well, because there was a guy I was talking to in China. He's like saying, yeah, because there's so much espionage going on between the U.S. and China, they don't know if you're a spy. So the Chinese government is watching you. And I'm like, crap. And then they're like, oh, and the United States government doesn't know if you've defected. So And this is a guy who was like, he was working in intelligence. He's like an intelligence guy that was over there. He's like, yeah, so why were those intelligent guys over there? No, that's another story. No, he was telling me like, well, when you leave China, they're going to keep watching you.
Oh, shit.
So you're going to be watched for a few years after you leave China.
Damn.
That's what he was telling me. He's like, chances are they're going to continue watching you.
Damn.
Because this, and it's like, so both governments are going to be watching you for a while.
You're going to see like this episode just going to have a huge spike in like regions and
Right.
China's watching. Like,
right, dude. And it was crazy because I was kind of embarrassed because I was living as a wild child over there, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a bachelor in China. We're going nuts over there, bro. Like, you know, we're just...
You were having a good time.
Bro.
Well, hey, they're watching you. I mean, obviously they didn't see any issues. You're good now.
I didn't
You're
get
good
arrested. I didn't get taken to a black prison. I didn't get tortured. I didn't have no kidneys missing.
You're good to go.
We're good to go. But
yeah,
I was like, I lived kind of... All of us, we lived a little wild.
Hell
we were
yeah.
partying pretty hard.
So I imagine Australia is a totally different change of pace, though.
Yeah, I never thought in a billion years I'd ever end up in Australia.
Yeah, why'd you decide to go there?
So it was my second year in China. So I just moved to Guangzhou, and I was having issues with the bank, the Chinese bank over there, because the Chinese government has a lot of restrictions on the amount of money that you could transfer out of China into your foreign country. Like it's like banking in China and being in America, it's a pain in the ass because they don't like money leaving their country. Yeah. So like the only way that I can get money back home is that I have to take my money, give it to a Chinese national who lives in China, and then trust that they're going to send that money to my bank account. Yeah. And then they're limited in the amount of money that they could send.
Damn.
And then the other thing is I was having issues with like my old bank account wasn't working for some reason. Like it was just a pain in the ass. So I had to open up a whole nother bank account, which basically means I'm broke. So I had a bunch of money I made for a year. I have no access to it.
Damn. That sucks.
No access to it.
Yeah. And that can become like, you know, it's some whatever at first, but after some time you're
right.
Like, dude, this is like struggle.
Right. So for 2 weeks, I have no money. Basically starving my ass off. I'm eating butter. I have like sticks of butter. I was eating everything.
Oh, yeah.
I was starving, bro.
Hey, nothing like some good old butter, man.
Man, I know. I went in the fridge and I saw there was a block of butter and like I had some ramen noodles. There wasn't much for me to eat.
Oh, some
like,
buttery noodles?
Bro, I was starving.
That sounds pretty good.
I was starving, bro. I was the longest time I've been that hungry, but I was hungry. Because you understand, that first year in China, I was eating good, bro.
Yeah.
Real Chinese food. I'm going to tell you this, like Chinese food in America and Chinese food in China, it's not even the same.
Oh, yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah.
So first paycheck arrived. So my very first paycheck, I'm like, I'm going out. I'm going out tonight, right? So I was like, all right, I'm going to go look up like some dance clubs. Like, I'm like, where can I go look up dancing? I don't know why the hell I thought to look this up, but I looked up salsa dancing in Guangzhou, China.
Yeah.
Which
seems to be popular.
Yeah, which is random as hell. Like, why would you even bother to even look up Latin dancing in China, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's only because living in San Diego, this is where I'm from, it's like, it was like a cute girl that you want to dance with, it's gonna be Latin dancing. Boy, you better figure it out. I never really took dance lessons, but you know,
yeah,
it was so crazy. Like at a high school prom or a high school dance, they'll play like the Yin Yang Twins, and then right after Yin Yang Twins is Suavemente.
Oh shit, we didn't have they didn't have that where I was from,
bro. It's like, so I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, do you have Latin dancing? Because I'm comfortable with going Latin dancing. Sure enough, they had it.
Nice.
I'm like, perfect. All right. So I looked up where it was. It was a I want to say it was a Colombian restaurant, and God, it was right near where they call it Chocolate Mountain because all the Africans lived over there. It's so wild. But there's this one. There's a Colombian restaurant, And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to this Colombian restaurant. They have Latin dancing night. Let's do it. Right. So I'm taking the public transit. This is my first time now, like on the public transit. It's packed, bro. We're packed in there like sardines, man.
Yeah.
And I'm in there. I'm like, man, it's my first night out. Like, I'm just excited. I don't know nobody. I'm going to meet some people. Let's do this. And then I get off of this one train and I had to cause you know, you have to get off one train to get on another train.
Mm-hmm.
So I got on this other train and I see my first set of foreign faces. Right. And it was these two chicks. It was this one girl, white girl, very white girl. And this other girl was Asian, but she didn't look like all the other Asians. Right. And then what's funny thing is like when the foreigners are out and we see each other, like, oh, foreigner, hey, foreigner, where are you from? We start talking.
Yeah, yeah.
So I start talking to these two girls and they're like, you know, hey, where are you from? It's like, oh, I'm from the US. Like, I'm just here going to this club. And they're like, where are you guys from? It's like, oh, we're from Russia. So these two girls from East Russia. So the one girl that looks, I don't know, I think she's from the more Western side and the other girl looks Asian, but not quite. She didn't look Chinese. I couldn't quite figure out what the heck this chick is. She's Russian, but she's Eastern Russian.
Yeah, they typically like darker hair, darker skin.
Darker skin, yeah. So they're like, oh, so where you headed? I'm like, oh, I'm going to this Colombian restaurant that has like Latin dancing. He's like, no way, that's exactly what we're headed to.
Nice.
I'm like,
this isn't just a podcast. This is my life's work. In a world full of noise, debate, filters, and artificial content, this platform is real. It's raw, it's human. Every episode, we dive deep into stories that matter. Pain, purpose, transformation. We're here to give people a voice, speak truth, and connect through something deeper than algorithms. And we're growing fast. We've already reached over 20 million views across all platforms, with an audience that is loyal, engaged, and passionate about this show because it speaks to the soul. If your business or brand believes in authenticity, if you value marketing through something that reflects your values and aligns with real impact, then this is your opportunity. Sponsorship isn't just support, it's fuel. It's how I keep this mission alive. It's how I continue to shine light on powerful, untold stories that need to be heard. If you want to reach people, not just through metrics, but through their hearts, their minds, and purpose, let's partner. Let's build something that matters.